This week, I want to share with you why I feel the Mavic Mini is the best travel drone. Welcome back to Chasing the Sun. I'm Eric, and this week I want to give you my thoughts on the DJI Mavic Mini as a travel drone. This is my fourth drone and my third one from DJI. I started capturing my travels with the DJI Phantom, and while it was a good drone for the day, it was a beast to carry around. I needed a whole other big backpack just to carry around. Then I bought the Mavic Air, and it was such a phenomenal upgrade for traveling due to its folded compact size. Unfortunately, I managed to sink it into Lake Ontario on my cross-Canada trip. So this is my new replacement drone. I was really debating on getting either another Mavic Air or even the Air 2 because it just came out. But after careful consideration, I bought the Mavic Mini. And in this video, I'll share with you what I like and what I don't like about it as a travel drone so that you can decide for yourself.
Today we'll be unboxing the Mavic Mini since my dad dropped his last one in a lake.
Yep, so yeah, you're wondering why I have a Mavic Mini. Well, like Kirsten said, the last one that I had, which is the Mavic Air, I actually dropped into Lake Ontario. So those of you who are interested can go diving for it. Unfortunately, I was flying not as recommended. Two things. One was I was flying in the dark, no, and flying without full GPS, also no. So to you out there, the drone operators, don't do that. Don't take the risk. Anyways, now I am short drone and I love my drone, as you guys have seen in our travel vlogs. I love taking drone footages. So I get to try a new toy, the Mavic Mini. And we're gonna open it up. I will also use it during our next trip. And I'm gonna tell you how I like it compared to the Mavic Air. And I'm gonna focus especially on travel vlog. There's lots of videos out there about the Mavic Mini. DJI, I've been a DJI fan for a long time. I've had 2 other DJI drones, but I want to focus this vlog on specifically how the Mavic Mini is as a travel vlog equipment. I'm going to test it out and see if the quality can live up to the compromise of the size.
You better not drop it again.
Yes. Okay.
Let's get to unboxing.
Do it.
If you're scared. Ooh,
Looking good. Got the controller. This controller, those of you who have the Mavic Air, is going to be very familiar with this. It's the same format, about the same size actually as my old Mavic Air. And I love this controller. I love how compact it is. Cool. And of course this comes up here. I really do love the design that DJI put to this controller. This is the
actual drone.
This thing is tiny compared to my actual Mavic Air. I love it. And light.
Wait, is it actually that light?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's much lighter.
Right, compared to our old drone. Yeah. So very cool. Super small. Okay. And this is the battery charger. Anything else in there? This is a Fly More combo. So I should have 3 batteries with this.
So I'm pretty sure combo. These are the batteries.
Extra propellers.
Wait, no, this is the charger. This is the charger. That's the charger symbol.
Yeah.
And here are the batteries. The batteries are much heavier than the drone.
Yes. Well, that drone doesn't have batteries in it yet.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so these are just extra
These
propellers.
are so small.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this drone actually has longer flight time than my Mavic Air, which is very cool. It claims 30 minutes, so I get to stay in the air for that much longer. Nice. 3 batteries, because this is the Fly More combo.
And then we have some instructions, which he probably won't be needing.
Overall, that's what's in the box. I'm excited to test this out. And I'll tell you guys all about how it does compared to my Mavic Air from a travel vlogging perspective. Or if you're a traveler yourself and you just want some footages for yourself, I'll tell you how it performs.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, please subscribe to our channel down below if you haven't done so yet. And now, here's what I like about it. I really like how small and compact it is, especially when I fold it back in. This is in its folded size. This is a Samsung Note 10 Pro, about the same size as a iPhone 11. And look at that. This is a controller it comes with. So everything together is super compact. I do a lot of motorcycle travel and sometimes camping also. So having it small and compact is very important for cutting down on the weight of packing and just the physical size of it. This is noticeably quieter than my Mavic Air. And as a travel vlogger, that's important because getting good stealth is important. Oftentimes I fly when there's tourist places with people around. So what I do is I just lift the drone as high up and as quickly as possible so that people don't hear it. And I noticed that this one gets up to about maybe 30-40 meters and it's quiet, whereas my Mavic Air, I would still hear it at around 50-60 meters. So that's a huge plus. My Mavic Air sound was also buzzier with a higher pitch, and this one is definitely easier to listen to. This battery life is longer than my Mavic Air, and that is good news if you're a travel vlogger. I noticed that I'm flying this and it's great because I don't have that heartbeat when the short battery life buzz comes on. This gets me 30 minutes of flight time. My Mavic Air gives me 21 minutes. And I find that with 30 minutes, it's perfect. It's actually more than enough because sometimes I'm done before it calls me back. A huge advantage of the Mavic Mini for travel vloggers is this. 249 grams. That is the magic number because of the FCC requirements. You need to register anything that's over 250 grams. This one just made it under, and I think that's exactly why DJI created this. For travel vlogging, that means I don't need to register this for a license to fly. And when I'm traveling around, that's important, especially with foreign countries and foreign language. Although I've never been approached or questioned by officials, just knowing that this is lighter than 250 grams and clearly written on there gives me a peace of mind in case I do get asked, so I can just show them. Having said that, I would still be careful not to fly around crowded areas. Some people are still sensitive to flying drones. I like the Fly More combo that you can get as an option with this drone. For many people that capture their travels, I definitely recommend getting extra batteries. So the Fly More combo is a must. I really like the multi-battery charger that comes with the Fly More combo. With my Mavic Air, I would have to charge one battery at a time, but here I can actually charge all 3 at a time. And also, this is much more compact with a small wall charger. I don't have a big brick that I do with my Mavic Air. I really like the new app interface with the Mavic Mini. Now those of you find the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Air 2, you have to download a new DJI. Okay, let's do that. What I was trying to say on the yacht is that both the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Air 2 uses the new DJI Fly App, which I like a lot more actually than the DJI Go 4. I find that the interface is more user-friendly. You can get to things quicker. there's a new map mode. You used to have the old one, but there's a new one where it shows you where the drone is in relation to you, if it's in front, behind, or on the side. One of the things that I like most about this new DJI Fly app is the ability to switch from P mode to cinematic mode with the touch button very quickly at the top left corner. So you don't have to go back to some other menus. I can do it while I'm flying. It's great, especially for someone who wants that cinematic video. Cinematic mode slows it down for you so that you don't have the jittery effect. So that's a huge plus, I find. Another thing I like about the Mavic Mini is the price. For someone who's gotten in trouble with their drone twice now, having a lower price point is a good thing because I might need to replace it. And you basically get 2 of these for 1 on the Mavic Air. Now here's what I don't like about this drone. 2 things, not big things, but 2 things you should know. One is there's no internal storage. So not a big deal for me because I always carry extra SD cards with me anyways in my travel bag. But if you're one that forget and you were hoping that it had some 8 gigs like the Mavic Air that you can just shoot for a quick emergency, then you don't have that option. And then 2, there are less object avoidance sensors on this. There's actually only 2 on the downward direction for the Mavic Mini. So that means for the beginner drone operators, this is more important. You have to really be careful of where you're going, know your surrounding environments, know where the trees are, the buildings are, because it's not smart enough to stop it for you. My Mavic Air, for instance, has front, rear, bottom sensors, so it has more chances of avoiding things. For me, it doesn't matter as much because I've been flying drones for quite a while, and for my Mavic Air, I find that I actually shut off the sensor sometimes when I'm flying it in a really tight space. That sensor actually gets in the way and my drone actually would not go through, so I end up shutting it off. So for me, it's not a big deal, but it is something that should be brought up. One feature that I forgot to cover is the active track. Out of all the features that the Mavic Mini doesn't have, I probably would like this feature the most. Active track is basically DJI's follow me mode, and the Mavic Air, both the old one and the new one, Air 2, will have it. The Mavic Mini doesn't. So if that's important to you, then please note that. For me, it wasn't a deal breaker because although it's nice to have, it isn't as precise as I wish it was. DJI uses the camera to track any moving objects. And what I found when I tested with my Mavic Air is that it works well only if there was no one else around and you're the only moving object, because it's easy for it to track. When I had my Mavic Air, I only had an opportunity to use it once for my videos. If you're really serious about a follow me drone, then I would recommend that you look into the Skydio 2. Their follow me technology is much better than what DJI is doing, and it's very hard to lose that drone. I'm gonna get into more motorcycle footages and stuff, so I may be getting a Skydio just for that follow me mode. So that tells you how good that could be. Okay, and here are things that are different, but probably doesn't matter so much for me. First, the camera quality. For me, the quality is very similar to my Mavic Air. The difference is that the Mavic Air shoots 4K video, and this one only 2.7K. But for me, it doesn't matter as much because I'm doing travel vlogging for home videos and also for YouTube. So, 1080p screens won't tell the difference, and on YouTube is not going to notice the difference. If you're more of a pro user, definitely the 4K would matter. Another thing is the range. So the range from the control to the aircraft is both the same, 4,000 meters. But what's the difference is the type of signal that the controller uses in the Mavic Air. It's supposed to be a little bit better. I haven't tested to limits. It's very close. So for me, I call that a draw. Another thing that's different but not too important for me is the packing size. So the packing size is important for me because that's the physical size that we'll be putting in my bags and everything as I travel. The carrying case on the Mavic Air is smaller, which I like, but what I found is that it only carries the drone and the controller, not the batteries and the charger. So I still had to carry an extra bag to grab those things anyways. Whereas the Mavic Mini The carrying bag is bigger physically, but it contains everything. It's got my charger, my adapters, my battery, my controller, my drone, everything's in there. So I call that a draw between the two. Now, if you're in the market for a travel drone, then of course you may also be considering the Mavic Air 2, which is a logical choice because it's the latest, greatest. I also did that comparison, and although I haven't tried the Mavic Air 2 in person, this is my conclusion after looking at the specs on paper. The Mavic Mini is still smaller and lighter when compared to the Mavic Air 2, and the big bonus, of course, is the 249 grams, so that you don't have to register it. The camera quality on the Air 2 is, of course, better than the Mavic Mini, but for my purposes, where I'm capturing footages for YouTube and family videos, the camera on the Mavic Mini is good enough. The packing size of the Mini is actually smaller than the Air 2. If you look at the Fly More case that comes with it, it's actually probably double the size of what the Mavic Mini is. At $599 USD for the Fly More combo for the Mavic Mini and $990 USD for the Mavic Air 2, this is cheaper. And for me, that's good because I might lose this in the water again. So I can easily replace it twice before the cost of the Mavic Air 2. If you like this video and it helped you in your decision-making process, then please hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button so that I can bring you more cool travel videos like this from the middle of a yacht in beautiful Vancouver. I hope this video made... So I hope that video gave you a really good glimpse into...
There we go.
That was a fail.